What's up? This B Floyd, aka Mr. Shotboy Born. Uh, B Floyd artist name, Shotboy Born producer. Want to give a shout out to Machine Masters. Uh, Shout out to Billy Blaze for putting in the work for Ghetto Gospel Sound Pack 1, 2, and 3 will be coming out. So I thought I'd do this video to show 1, and that's the only one I have for right now. But I'm planning on getting the other 2 because I do like the the sample pack. It's a tight sample pack, and I'm actually using one of the samples in here, and a couple more elements from the sample pack. Um, I wanted to say too, also shout out to Pro Audio Files, the Mix Series, David Glenn, Matt West, and also Recording Revolution. Graham, awesome dude. They all put me on a lot of stuff that I was mixing, that I'm learning how to mix, and also to Dave Posado at Posado's Capital Jam. I'm mad I missed that. I wanted to go to that sucker so bad, and just wanted to show this beat, how to take one of their samples, and if you look at the beat, the sample is very it's very short, and if I'm gonna play the sample right here, so this is the sample number 15 that's off the Ghetto Gospel Volume 1 sound pack, and it's the sample 1. So I use 15, and I'm gonna play this and let you hear it. And a lot of times we be trying to find out what the sample is, and with Machine it's pretty simple. If you go to Zone, not Zone but Slice, it'll show you what the sample is. I got an auto beat detect, so it'll tell you what the sample is, the tempo is. So I just went ahead and put it in the tempo. The same tempo is on there, so it'll be a lot easier for me to work with. And it's a lot of meat on here. I looked at the sample and I was like, okay, what can I do this? And it's popped up. God gave me an idea. It was like, wow. And I was like shocked that a sample loop, like probably like 8 bars, I think, that you can take something and flip so differently. And what I did was basically chop the sample up. I'm gonna play the sample as I get it. You're gonna hear it because in my samples they changed the settings, but it's still, when I applied it, it still was the same. So this is how I chopped it. You hear that? So, and then the next one, then I chopped that up because of the fact that she was humming, and then the choir was singing, and I felt like that part needed to be by itself. We already know that people, you know, it's just a little groove that they always use. So I felt like that would need to be by itself, and then. So that's, that's the sample is chopped up as the way it is. So what I did was, after I did that, I basically started on the verse, and this is the verse right here. And with the sample by itself, play it. And that's basically the verse. And what I did with the chorus was, because I knew that with the chorus by itself like that, I knew the chorus, I I knew that was the chorus right there. And it was just a matter of taking the other elements of the sample. But if you notice that when you use certain elements of a sample, you have to actually find some other spots to stretch the sample out. In this case, that's what I had to do. So just the hook. So that's basically the spot right there with the sample. I was thinking of changing it to fit more like this one. You'll hear the intro and how the intro is played, but I couldn't do it. I ain't gonna say I couldn't do it, but it didn't sound right to me because the intro stretches out, and then it wouldn't have fit. So I had to rearrange the hook in another way. I already created the intro and created a space so everything could fit. And so what I did next was I had to work on the drums. So this is the drums from the Ghetto Gospel Sound Pack. And I knew I needed some other stuff, so like I said, grabbed some other stuff. I wanted to still have a hip hop beat to it, so I did add tambourines to. I was thinking of church, so I was thinking of tambourines with it. So that's what made me think of the tambourines, and so I went ahead and added some tambourines to it. This is with the tambourines and the other hi-hat elements because I wanted to add to make it sound more hip-hop. So. I knew I needed some sub to bring out the kick itself. And so that's what I did. I added this. I slapped the, actually, this is a good thing. A lot of people really, that VC2A don't, to me, sometimes I do use the wave. It depends on what I'm actually going for. This is like parallel compression to me. Slapping it on a group, because you're just the same thing you would do it if you was mixing in a DAW like Pro Tools or Logic. You'll have a auxiliary bus, you'll have a parallel compression using a compressor or like a VC 76 or 2A or 1176, whichever you want to call it, and you slap it and route it to that bus to beef up the drums. The same thing I did with this. I put it on the 2A to bring out the drums, and that's why the drums sound so big in this. This is not even halfway up, so if I was to turn up, then you understand what I mean by beef up the drums. And that's what I did. I added that, and you see on the hi-hats, I didn't even add anything on the group. Everything is just basically compressed. What compression does is makes the low, if it's low, it brings it up. So the more you compress, bring back the threshold sometimes. With vocals, it does the same thing. So it brings up the instruments, even if what I do is try to make sure my levels is right. Not just the level value, but my velocity of my notes. Sometimes I do change those because I don't want it to be clipping at 127. I noticed that when I started doing that and putting sometimes the L2 or a lot of times I use the transit master as a limiter, and it clips. You don't want this white to always be up here where this red is, and just having the transit master just bringing it back. You want it to constantly move, but if it's stuck right here, that means you are almost at the point of distortion. As soon as you take this off and you see all red all the time, you know your stuff is distorted. So this is just a little something I learned, and also add another texture. Also, I just want to say this too, because I'm glad that Billy Blaze actually did a Ghetto Gospel sample pack. I like taking gospel songs and flip them. I'm a rapper who is a Christian, or a Christian rapper, whichever one you want to call it. That's on you. I know who I am, so it doesn't bother me. But I hear a lot of people always, rappers, some battle rappers always turn around, and I watch a lot of battle rappers and Christians that started into the battle rap scene. And God showed me that like when I was back in Illinois Institute of Art, Chicago, back in 2010, and I told people, I said, you're gonna start hearing a lot of like rappers that are Christians coming out on mainstream. And they turned around and laughed at me in the classroom, and I was like, oh yeah. She's like, I don't think my teacher was bashing me because, well, I don't think that's gonna be like that, because nobody want to hear that. I said it's not really about hearing that particularly, and I know, quote unquote, I know what you're talking about, but I was like, music now these days don't really focus on the element of people struggling like music in the 70s did. That's why I was so popular, because a lot of the times, a lot of the stuff they're coming out with is the same regurgitated club stuff: guns, shoot 'em up, bang bang, trapping, getting hoes, getting money, blah blah blah. It's the same thing. Everybody's just trying to come out with a thing. It's gonna be somebody that's gonna come out, and this was around the time, a little bit after Lupe came out, and you see a lot of more people that's coming out like Drake and everything else. Even though I don't listen to the music, I still keep listen to the music, but not like consistently. So, and I remember they laughed at me. I said, you're going to have a lot of Christian rap in the battle scene too. And this is some guy showed me. And it's funny that now that I see it coming to pass, and I'm like, okay, you know how you sometimes, your pride in you be like, man, I wish they was around right now so I could say, yeah, I told you so. You know what I'm saying? But it just shows that how things involved. And to me, for battle rappers to be dissing, I know they battle and everything, but at the same time, you got to keep it in perspective. You don't want your idle words to be brought up before you. So you could diss God all you want to. I better say stay in your place. To me, you battling somebody that's bigger than you, and we all minute speck of dust just flying around. So be careful of what you say, because it might put bring your life to ruins. You don't want to do that just because you want to say something that sound cold. We all know some rappers got a choice of doing that and saying they in a demon. We all got things we struggle with, but everybody don't have a demon. But be careful of things you say. Just because you want to say stuff that sound cold, remember you're going to pay for what you say. And you ain't going to be able to cash it. So, it's just something I wanted to drop. It's just on my heart, so I just said it. But what I did with the other beat, I actually added something that's going to it doesn't even sound like it really, you'll hear it. It to me, once you hear it, you'll see like, okay, what this got to do with the beat, don't even sound like. But I wanted to add another sub element, and I really didn't need these hi-hats right here, but it kind of lines up to kind of crispin, put a little crisp on the ones that's already there. And then this other element with this transistor on it kind of brings the beat into the chorus. So let me play it. won't even hear all of it, but it's just the fact of what it adds. Saying it just adds elements. That's all it is. And to me, like Dave Pisano, him saying that you have to be able to pick and recognize in your track what is the most important instrument in there. We already know the sample is the most important, so we just try to make things that complement the sample. Sometimes you have to think out of the box. Everything is not, sometimes things just magically happens and you just can't really explain it. It's just and sometimes you just gonna have to go with your first mind, and that was my first mind to add that, and I was like satisfied with it. So this is the track in this whole, I'm not gonna play the whole thing, that's like 4 minutes, and I'm not trying to sit here and play 4 minutes of the song. So this is the intro. Here it is right here. It's called Nobody Knows All the Trouble. So I feel like it's talking about a person life. I can't judge the person that that says what he says, but try to have compassion to know where he came from, because we don't see all the trouble people actually go through in life. And this is basically the reason why I wanted to do this sample, is because talking about that element. Because like for instance, people talk about Kanye. I remember meeting Kanye when he was working for No ID when I was at Columbia College, and there was this music group called Kuma. And Kanye was a very humble person. Sometimes tragedy in our lives bring things to surface that we didn't know that was there. People may call him arrogant, people may call him this and that, but when you don't truly understand like a person's relationship with their mom, his mom was everything to him. When she died, I think that really got to him, and I still think he's trying to process that. It doesn't give an excuse for him, but I understand. And when we try to, and like the song, nobody knows all the troubles that you actually go through. In that aspect, I understand that. So that's the reason why I did this beat. And shout out to like S1. I was watching some of his videos, and it's pretty unique. I listen to Guave stuff, Dirty Rice. Let me see, DJ Payne, DJ Official, Infamous. I love watch some of his techniques and the stuff he do. I do have some more other producers, like Timbaland and stuff like that. Dr. Dre. Yeah, I listen to a lot of their stuff. It's some more other producers, but I ain't got time to name them all. But this the track as it is, and shout out to all of them. Like I said, Machine Masters, my Machine Masters family, everybody else on there. Just wanted to do this video, and y'all have a blessed day and enjoy life and live it to the fullest. Don't mean you can do everything. Life has limitations, so let's rise above the scrimmage, so to speak. And you know what I'm talking about, what's going on in the world. So, peace out.